fuck it. I'm locking in until I get everything I want. I'm locking in. 365 days straight. Every single day. I'm talking about every day. I shouldn't be the only one that's going to do this. You should do it as well. Because once you lock in and you determine for yourself, this is what I want. This is what I want. And I'm affirming to God and I'm affirming to your universe that this is what I want. And I will wake up every day to try and achieve it. Because if you truly think about it, think about all of the times that you actually pulled off everything you locked in for. I can think about all the different times in my life, all the different moments where I tested myself and I locked in and I truly wanted something and I got it. I've never seen somebody want something and truly want it. I don't mean just, I want it, but don't do the action towards it. I'm talking about truly wanting it and having faith and putting the action behind the faith of which they want. I haven't seen that person not get what they want. I've seen everybody who wake up and dedicate himself every single day and he says he wants something and he tries it, he gets it. So the only people who don't have what they want is those who lack faith. They don't have faith. Because remember, he said it's a mustard seed. If you have faith of a mustard seed, you can do what I did. You could do what I did if you have a faith of grain of a mustard seed. That's small. The master said, that's small. So when you start to question, well, I didn't have what I wanted because I didn't have faith. Because faith drives actions. Faith drives your actions. So when we sit around and we saying, I want X, Y, and Z, we claiming we have faith. Well, the reason we don't have it is because we didn't have faith. If we had the faith, we would be doing the actions of what we wanted to go. We'll be doing the actions to get what we desire. So that starts to bring you into a mode of understanding. If we had the faith necessary, we can have anything we want in our life. It's impossible to not get what we want. It's impossible to not get what we desire if we have the faith for it. Faith is invisible. Faith is the evidence of things unseen. Faith is the evidence of things unseen. So you need to understand that faith is a superpower. It's a power. You need to develop a mind of faith. Faith is invisible. People can't see it, and which is why some people, even the enemy, see you keep going and start to question, why hasn't he given up? We've hit him so many times. We shot him with so many bullets. Why does Preem keep going? Why does he keep persisting? It's kind of like Neo when he was fighting against the agent and he was getting beat down and the agent was trying to make him give up. He was like, Neo, why do you persist? Why do you keep going? This is how it is. This is how your enemy is looking at you. Every time you don't let failure make you collapse. Every time you get back up and keep moving and keep going, the enemy starts to question, why? Why can't we make him kerfuffle? Why can't we make him quit? Why can't we make him stop? Because I'm so powerful. I'm Preem. I have to keep going. I have to. So the enemy starts to question. And the reason why I said faith develops and turns into action, it always do. You have to have action when it comes to faith. Action comes after faith. And this is not only having faith in God. This is what I'm telling you. I'm talking about faith in anything, to do anything. Because we have the faith in God, but we also have to have the faith that we can achieve the things that we want to achieve. So when I'm talking about faith, I'm not only saying God, I'm saying having the faith and the belief to also believe that you can achieve and do anything. That's the type of faith and belief you need to develop. So you need to understand that this takes testing. I was telling this to my sister. We was having a conversation, my sister, and I was telling her how he said, destroy this temple in 3 days. And I'll raise it up again. I'm not even trying to preach, but this is lessons. This is principles. I'm not trying to interpret or tell you it means anything. I'm not doing that. I'm using it for a principle of how you can use it today. Destroy this temple in 3 days. I'll rise it up again. And they was like, how will you rebuild this whole temple? They was speaking of a building. But he was speaking of his body. But what I took from it, a principle that I extrapolated from it was you need to destroy something to rebuild it. You need to destroy your old body to rebuild a new one. You need to destroy your old habits to rebuild a new one. You need to destroy your old person and old thinking to rebuild a new way of thinking. And I was telling my sister that, and it led me to even more thoughts that reality works in a way. If you just go and you make your mark on reality, if you imprint your mark on reality and you quit just being consciously led, pulled everywhere, you going this way, you going just wandering, doing everything. Once you start to decide and sit and say, you know what, I want to do X, Y, and Z with my life. Once you stop allowing other people to think for you, once you stop allowing the matrix to write your script for you, you start to go down a pathway of you choosing what you want to do in reality. You start to become more successful, more brave, more competent. Because we were taught to follow the script. The script, and this is the physical world as well. They want you to be in line. They want you to be quiet. They want you to be timid. They want you to be afraid. We was having conversations. We was talking about how being raised or being brought up, for some reason, certain people was just so afraid and timid, walking around so like speaking, afraid to speak, afraid to speak up for themselves, afraid to have belief inside themselves. They didn't have the belief or the confidence inside themselves to even speak or stand on or do things in reality. Just walking around afraid of everything and everybody. And it truly comes down to understanding and learning. I really genuinely think once you find the light, everything else becomes easy. Once you find light, everything becomes easy. You find the confidence in yourself. You find knowledge. You find wisdom. That truly wakes you up. I'm telling you, once you start to learn wisdom, once you start to learn more, get more knowledge, get emotional control, you stop giving into your emotions and giving into the impulses, you start to become a better person. Not only a better person, you start to become a better being. You start to become somebody who can have the spiritual capacity of which God can fill you up with and you can do anything. But you first have to instill it into yourself. You got to meet God halfway. That's why I keep telling people, you got to meet God halfway. You can't sit up there and keep praying and doing nothing. Faith without works is dead, and you know it. Faith without works is dead. So you need to sit there with all of your faith and develop it, and you need to use it to drive your actions. So when somebody tell me they have faith or they have belief in something, but they're not taking the necessary actions, well, you don't have faith then. Take the necessary actions. Take the necessary actions of what you want to do so you can secure and guarantee your future. It's that simple. Anybody can do it. He said anybody. This is for anybody. If you have the faith. The only reason a lot of people couldn't do things, when you read through these stories of the master walking around with his disciples, the disciples came to him. He said, where is your faith? If you had faith, you could have did without. He said, where's your faith? What are you doing? So we need to develop faith. We keep thinking we have faith, but we don't. Because he said if you had a great faith of a grain of a mustard seed, you will have what you want. So that's where it starts to get in the process. I'm now understanding, okay, our faith must be developed. And then after we develop the faith must be tested. Faith had to be tested and beat down upon. So you start to test your faith. Now you start to get in the mode of getting everything you want. You start to get every single thing you want once you develop the faith and you lock in. Once you develop the faith, you will go through a testing period of your faith being tested. Once your faith is tested, now you start to move in the mode of becoming more powerful than ever before. Now you start to see the results. And this is one last thing I want to leave with you. You need to understand that reality takes time to submit to your mental image. Reality takes time to submit to your inner belief. If you believe you're competent and you're great in life, reality around you is not going to instantly catch up. It may take time. Time is powerful. Time can be used. Time is moldable. Time is power. Time is money. Time is physical strength. If you go to the gym, time can be used to do anything. But a lot of people waste their time doing mundane garbage. A lot of people waste their time watching TV rather than trying to develop themselves and read and study and get knowledge and learn and wonder why they keep being stuck in certain positions or certain circumstances and wonder why nothing is happening. Well, you're wasting your time. Most people are too slow. You need to act quick. God in the universe rewards action and rewards faith and action. Faith without works is dead, so you need to do both. You need to combine both, and you need to take the action, the necessary action, with speed to break through the atmosphere of mediocrity. Most people will never get to where they want to go because they're so slow. When God gives you something, or you have something upon you, some idea, you need to act on it instantly. A lot of people have the best business idea in their mind right now and still haven't acted. A lot of people have an idea to do something and still haven't done it. You're slow. You need speed, fast, quick. And I'm going to say this because it was somebody who commented on my video and said, I was just about to make this as somebody commented on my video and said, I was just about to make this same exact video, but I did it first. Speed. If he was to did it, we both would have had the same exact video. But then another thing I want to say, he's continued to still probably not make the video. He could have still made the video even if I did it before him. But why am I bringing this up? Speed. Who can put out the ideas faster? It was a universal gravitational pull. It was a universal gravitational thought. And me and more, and you want to know what's crazy? Me, him, and many other people probably had the same exact thought, but who acted upon it? Who put it into concrete form? Now, that's what manifestation is. Manifestation is not woo-woo garbage. Manifestation is bringing something invisible into a physical form. It's bringing whatever you believe inside of your mind into physical form. Now, that's manifestation. Bringing your thought into reality. That's manifestation. So you need to think genuinely and start to act with speed. You want to lock in? You want X, Y, and Z? Act with speed. If you want to better yourself, get in better shape, act with speed. If you want to become better, become a better person for yourself and for your family, act with speed. Speed defies gravity. A plane can sit and fly in the air and aviate for long periods of time because of speed, how fast it was going, the sheer amounts of turbulence in the atmosphere and all of the power and the gravitational pull, allowing yourself to still fly after the engines has failed. Speed. Speed. Start to do everything with speed and watch your life turn. Watch your life turn around. I started acting with speed. I've done more this year alone than my entire life. I've done more output this year alone. I've done more output this year alone than anything in my entire life. Speed. I wasn't hesitant. I wasn't waiting for anybody. I wasn't waiting to listen to someone else. I was just going. Speed. Raw speed solves everything. Raw speeds break through the atmosphere of garbage. You need speed. Faster, quick. How fast can you get it out? How fast can you do it? How fast can you lock in and get everything you want? Everything you want will determine on how fast you can do it. And just because you don't see results immediately, just because the results don't come fast, that don't mean that it's not going to come. Just because you don't see the results immediately doesn't mean that the results is not going to come. You need to understand that. Results need to catch up to your mental image. Develop a mental image of that which you want. Act upon it. Do it with speed. Plant the seed and let the seed grow and germinate into the earth. Every seed requires germination inside the earth. Most of you keep plucking up your own seeds. Send them, but it hasn't happened yet. Shut up. Oh, but it hasn't happened yet. I haven't seen the results. You act like you're a baby or something. Oh, but I haven't seen the results. The results haven't come yet, Preem. I haven't seen it. I've been working so hard and I haven't seen the results yet. And everything is looking like it's not working. And this is happening and back. Shut up before I come in. Some of you need some shaking. That's why bad things happen to you. Because some of you need some shaking. I need to come and shake you and grab you through the screen and shake you and tell you to shut up. Because most of you are speaking their own results out of your own life. You're speaking the results out of your own life. The way that you speak to yourself, you have to, and I learned this from my mentor, Pastor Atkins. He said, you have to change the way you talk to yourself. Most of you do not talk to yourself in a compendiously concise way. And that's the reason why I wanted to learn how to speak. I wanted to learn how to speak so I can learn how to persuasively talk to myself. I can convince myself to do anything. I can convince myself to do anything. I can convince myself I can destroy somebody with my pinky finger. I can convince myself to do anything. Once you can convince yourself to do anything, you can convince other people to do, I wouldn't say anything, but you can convince other people to do good things. Your persuasive skills start to germinate and populate and break through the atmosphere. So once you change the way that you talk to yourself, you can get everything you want. You can get everything you desire. I'm telling you, there is no limit. There's no limit as to what you can get. He literally said, every single thing you desire. He said, whatsoever you believe, whatever you desire when you pray, believe you have received it and you shall have it. The master said it himself. Christ said it himself. So what are you waiting for? Why are you waiting to have the belief of which you want? Why do you have to see reality change for you to believe? Why do you have to see reality change for you to believe in what you want? Why did I have to come along and convince you to have belief and faith so you can get the things that you want in your life? Why can't you do it yourself? You need to start to question yourself and start to build the faith and belief of what you want so you can break through the atmosphere of mediocrity and free your bloodline from all the eternal slavery which the proponents of the matrix try to purport. You need to break the chains of the matrix and break the slavery. And that is how you do it, by locking in until you get everything you want. I'm going to give you a roadmap as to how to lock in. You need to create a plan. You need to write the vision and make it plain. You need to write this plan out. Everything you want to achieve in the next 4 years, I want you to write it. Make a short statement. Don't make a big, long paragraph. I want you to make it very, very short and concise. I want to achieve XYZ in the next 4 years. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to wake up every day and commit to that. Set a time frame for yourself. Now, you don't have to achieve it in this time frame, but I want you to be urgent. Time frames create urgency. Quicker, speed. What I just tell you, that's one of the most critical components of when it comes to the right side of Preem. Speed. So I just told you the right hand of Preem. The right hand of Preem. One of the components and the principles of the right hand of Preem is speed. Now I'll talk about the left. If you want to hear about the left hand Preem, but if you want to hear about the left hand of Preem, go to the motivation where I said darkness, not darkness in the sense of evil, but dark as in the sense of absence. Go back to, are we motivated by the dark? If you want to hear about the left side of Preem, you know where to find me. The link is in the description. The free Telegram is there. If you're not in there, I do not know what you're doing. I genuinely don't know what you're doing. If I'm telling you, I can send you motivation straight to your phone on a daily basis. Not only that, you have direct access to me. Some of you people don't even use your direct access. My Telegram DMs is open. I don't DM back on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I don't really check those, but I check my Telegram. You have direct access to me if you're in my free Telegram. If I see a DM from you and I see you're in my free Telegram, I will respond. But I will not respond if you're not in the free Telegram. So you need to understand, you have direct access to me. You can ask me any question. This is limited. I'm not doing this forever because as I get bigger, the selection process of who will have access to me will get narrowed down because we have to weed out people who are not walking that path. Broad is the way. Everybody is there. Broad is the way. Many there is. But narrow, few. So you know where to find me. Link is in the description. Join.